former NFL wide receiver Charlie Brown joining us now. Washington Redskins Super Bowl champion as well. And Charlie, it's funny. We say, hey, yeah, we're your home for New York sports in Albany. And you said, Albany, New York. I've been there.
Yes, of course. My arena days, I played a couple games against Albany back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, we were just talking off air. You were an Iron Man. You played wide receiver and corner.
Absolutely, and it was a great experience for me as well.
Now, tell me, like I'm sitting here in my head thinking that if you've been a wideout for so long, it's got to be different to be, turn your hips and run backwards with everybody. It had to be tough, right?
Well, not really. If you played receiver, I've always felt like, receivers should be able to play defensive back. As a defensive back, once that receiver gets past a certain yardage, you minimize his pass route running ability. For an example, if he goes past 15 or past 18, the only thing he can run is a deep post, that deep comeback goal, or at least a deep square in. And how you minimize that is where you are located on his inside, head up, or outside technique.
Obviously, in today's
man. I feel like I just got coached.
That was great. Well, in today's NFL, obviously, we understand why players play one position because you pay so much for them to be a specialist and more roster spots and everything. Do you look at a wide receiver right now in the NFL and go, man, that guy would be a good cornerback?
Oh, absolutely. And you can tell the guys who are, great athletes at that position. One of the guys that come to mind is Antonio Brown with the Steelers. Yeah. That guy's very talented.
Right.
He's just, quick, real fast thinking, great hands.
You played against his dad, right? Touchdown Eddie Brown on the Albany Firebirds is his pops.
Wow, I did not know that.
A little trivia for you.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow, I just learned something here.
Listen, Albany historian over here. Now, you are sporting some serious bling.
Oh, I love that.
That's the 82 season, 83 Super Bowl when you guys beat the Dolphins, that ring right there.
Absolutely.
And you had a game.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. I always like to say we had a great game.
Sure.
You accounted for almost half a Theismann yards. Come on, man.
I think John Reagans and the Hugs really had a fantastic day that day.
That is true. But as far as the passing game went,
I had 6 or 61 touchdowns.
Who's counting though?
But if you're in the Super Bowl, you got to know it, right? Like I'm gonna get to watch this year. I'm gonna be like, I remember, I had a hot dog, 2 beers. It was a special day for me.
Former wide receiver Charlie Brown of the Washington Redskins with Armen Levack on 104.5 The Team live from Radio Row. So do you wear the Super Bowl ring like around the house while doing chores? You just put it on when you go outside? Like what's the etiquette for wearing a Super Bowl ring?
Well, normally for special events, maybe appearances. Sometime I wear it at school, where I do some voluntary coaching to all of my football camps that I have in the area. So, but it's a type of hardware where nothing can replace it really.
Right.
You ever wear it, like, I don't know, when you go to the mall and maybe they're not paying attention to you and you just kind of tap the glass like, tink, tink, and they just happen to look at it and go, oh, my gosh, sir, how may I help you? Is that a Super Bowl ring?
Well, it gets lots of attention,
sure.
Wherever, I wear it or wherever I may travel.
Now, what do you think of the modern day ones? Like every year, it seems like they get bit now. Like something the size of my cell phone would be my. If I won the Super Bowl this year, I mean, yours is class, yours is bling.
Yeah.
But what do you think of those new ones? Are they going too far?
I don't think so. The last one I saw, I think, was the Patriots.
Okay.
It was very large, but I thought it was a very attractive ring. The bigger they make it, I guess, the more attractive they are. I think they'll know when to, start making it.
They look like
to a certain
championship
size.
belts right now. Like, I expect to see The Rock come out with one around his waist.
Yeah, they are pretty much big rings.
Super Bowl champion Charlie Brown joining us on 104.5 The Team. Charlie, you mentioned that today's wide receiver is so athletic. One athletic wide receiver we talk about all the time on your home for New York sports is Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, yes.
After just 1 year and the catch he made, and then the catch he made in the Pro Bowl, we're so excited about this guy. What do you see when you see a young Odell Beckham Jr. out there?
Well, it reminds me a lot of myself. You come on the scene, with vengeance. You know what I mean? You have a lot to prove. You have a lot of pride in what you do, a lot of God-given talent. I mean, that's God-given talent, what he has, I mean, I've never seen it been done before. I've never seen a catch like that in all the years I've been on this earth. And he's going to be electrifying. I can't wait to see Victor Cruz come back and see that tandem, together.
When you're that good, that fast, how hard is it to keep your mind right?
Well, from a receiver standpoint, or the person with the skills, you just got to be yourself. Right. You got to remember where you came from. Remember what hard work is all about. Remember you're representing yourself, your family, your team. So I think those will keep your head above water. You know what I mean? Right. Keeping it in the right direction and being humble.
Well, and it's funny because we see Odell Beckham Jr. get heated on the field, and he'll get into it, and the coaching staff has told us before, we got to pull this guy back sometimes. We have to tell him, hey, let's rein it in. As a coach, though, would you rather have to rein it in than have to push him?
Well, I think I would really have to rein it in. I don't believe in pushing guys because I think at that level, you should know
motivated.
what your job is all about. If you're not motivated, then you shouldn't be in the NFL.
Yeah.
And if you're not motivated, at some point you're going to get cut or you're going to get released or somebody else is going to beat you out.
I mean, I'm here and I'm in awe of the Super Bowl experience, and obviously for me it's nothing compared to when you did it. What, as a guy who is getting ready to play the biggest game of your career, what's it like for these guys here as they're getting ready for this game in Phoenix?
Okay, number one, they're on cloud nine, and it's hard to bring them down.
Right.
But I think they realize the reason why they're here. Both teams are experienced Super Bowl participants, so they know what it's all about. They know they're going to have their fun. They're going to take it all but so far. But at the end of the day, they're going to keep their eyes on the prize, and come Sunday, they'll be ready to play.
Who's going to win?
I'm predicting New England to win. I think New England has an edge in offense. I think they have more receivers that can catch the ball and make something happen versus Seattle have guys that can defend against the pass. But I think the number one factor is going to be New England's tight end, Gronkowski. I think that guy is a beast. It's hard to match up with him, and Tom Brady has so many other weapons, but that's his ultimate weapon.
Former NFL wide receiver Charlie Brown with us. And Charlie, you talked about how you help kids and you go out and you're very involved in the community. Tell us about PASTUSA.com, PASTUSA.com.
Well, PAST is an organization that, really help former pro athletes with their medical conditions from different type of treatments, and they work together as a team of doctor from a neurologist standpoint to orthopedic to mental standpoint, lots of treatment, supplements, medication of that nature.
How important is that in this day, as we're finding about in the time that you played in before, how later in life it affects you?
Well, I'm a testament to that. I was coaching high school football and an educator in Savannah, Georgia. And, I had to quit my job to really take care of my health. It forced me to go in retirement and just didn't know if I would ever see, a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I was never suicidal, but I was not the Charlie Brown that, I was in the past. And it really opened my eyes. I went to seek many, many doctors, man, and I just wasn't hearing what my body was feeling. And not until I got with PASS and, those guys gave me a second life, I would say, as far as, how I was feeling.
So we go to PASTUSA.com, and that's how we can get involved and help out?
Oh, absolutely. PASTUSA.com. And, the United States football deals with, the question, why should youth play football? Or should I have my son to play football? And what surrounds that with the concussion deal, the physicality of playing football. But I think parents, along with coaches and players, need to be aware of the signs of concussions. How can you prevent it? What do you do if you sustained it?
PASTUSA.com. All thanks to Charlie Brown, former NFL wide receiver. Do it.
All right. See, now back when you played, there was no fist bumps. There was no nonsense. You celebrate with a high five.
Yes.
And we're trying to revive the five.
Okay.
Can I get a high five?
Oh, you sure can?
Yes.
There you go, baby.
That's my first Super Bowl high five.
There you go.
High five.
Document
There
it.
you go.
Document. Charlie Brown, you're great, man. Thanks for spending time with us. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Armen Levack, 104.5 The Team. You're home for New York sports.